Okay, guys, in this video, I'm going to talk about and share with you guys a brand new niche. Yes, that is niche, N-I-T-C-H, niche. Guys, your boy was born in the country in a village. I'm still trying to figure out to spell how to speak English. So get off my back, okay? Yes, it's a niche. We're going to talk about a niche today. I've never even thought of, never even heard of. I've been in this business for over 7 years. I've gone through lists of niches on Home Advisor, Angie's List. I've had conversations. I've been in groups. I bought I don't know how many programs, and I have never heard of the niche that I'm going to share today. Now, I want to share it because I want you guys to understand that as I'm getting information, because I'm in the mud, because I'm in the weeds, because I'm still building my business, that as information comes to me, I want to share it with you guys. And if I decide to test it, I'm going to let you know. And if it doesn't work, I'm going to let you know. And if it does work, I'm going to let you know. And if I say, hey, this is the next concrete, this is the next tree service, I'm going to let you know. So that's why I want to share this. But what I learned from this, apart from the niche idea, which is a really interesting niche idea, is it just again reminded me of we haven't even started as far as saturation. Is it saturated? Guys, I've been in this 7.5 years. Well, I think it would have been May. So just over 7 years and 2 months from when I bought my first program and got into this. Okay. And I've never heard of this particular niche I'm going to talk about today. And the person that told me about this talked about it as if they've been in it for years. And I think they have been in it for years. And it just goes to show you that depending on the part of the country that you live in, if you're in the US, or what country you're in, if you live in a different country, there are specific niches that you've never even thought of for rank and rent, that you don't even know exist because you live in one state and the next state over, they do things differently. And there are niches that are going to be formed and created as the world changes, as new products come, as new services, as people and their habits change and their lifestyles change. All that to say, all these things just again remind me how unsaturated this is. And I don't want this whole conversation to be about saturation, but guys, just be logical here. We have barely scratched the surface. Okay. So guys, on Monday, this last Monday, I don't know when this video is going to drop, but the last Monday from when I'm recording this, I had a great conversation with somebody on the Dre Show. And during that conversation, this individual was talking about one of their properties, one of their websites, one of their rank and rent properties, their digital real estate assets. Okay. And they mentioned the following niche: dock, D-O-C-K, dock, repair, and encapsulation. Dock, repair, and encapsulation. Now, I've never heard of it because I don't live near water. I live in the desert. I live deep in the desert. We have cactus and we have palm trees and we have a lot of red rocks. I live in the desert. So I don't have a dock near my house. So it's not even on my mind, right? But apparently, from what I understand, by the way, just to be fully transparent, I have not tried this. I just want to share this idea with you. These docks, they get worn down, they get weathered. Sometimes they get not rodents, insects, and they start to wear. And so what they do is they go in and there's something they can do. They can encapsulate, I believe it's the piers is what she was describing to me. They go in and they just do some encapsulation and it preserves the dock. And it's obviously much cheaper than going and just replacing the dock. Now, I know a thing about encapsulation because I've been in another niche called crawl space encapsulation, which I thought was great. I don't think so anymore. I'm not in it anymore. I don't think I have any websites in it anymore, but I do know that the process of encapsulation is literally going into a space, or in this case, maybe it's the piers on the dock, and going in and basically making it so the whole thing is encapsulated and it stays dry, right? That's what you do with crawl spaces. You go in, you put, you just basically create a capsule. You encapsulate the whole thing so that moisture can't come in. And this is the service. This is this dock repair and encapsulation. And the interesting thing about this is I know this isn't a common niche because, again, I've never even heard of it. And I have asked so many people for niche ideas. I've gone through so many lists. I have had so many ideas. This has never crossed my mind. And so I know this isn't super popular, but the other thing I like about it is I know what it costs to encapsulate a crawl space. And so even if it's a fraction of what it costs to encapsulate a crawl space to encapsulate a deck, boy, oh boy, is it checking the box of high ticket. I also know that if it's a service at a dock, I said deck. Dock is what I mean. If I said deck at any point in this video, I ain't reshooting it. So we're going to just pretend I said dock. Okay. It's kind of confusing because there is another thing called deck repair. We're not talking about decks on patios. We're talking about docks that go out onto the water. But nonetheless, guys, is if you're getting a dock repaired, like we just use our heads here. If you're getting a dock repaired, you don't go shopping for it like you do a car. You don't grab your spouse, your significant other and say, hey, honey, we're going to go dock encapsulation shopping. You don't do that. You call a company, they come out, they give you an estimate, they assess the damage, and they come to do the work on the site. So guys, that checks the box of being phone driven, okay? The only other variable would be, is it highly branded? I sincerely doubt it because again, this is not this isn't roofing, this isn't solar. I believe this could be a very, very fascinating, very fascinating niche and fascinating enough that we are doing research. We are looking into it. And the first thing that I do when I do research is I look at CPCs. I go build a keyword list. I look at competition levels. Obviously, I confirm the ticket size, how much it's going to cost. And then I call some business owners to get some information. And guys, when you're looking at a new niche, one thing that you may want to consider doing is you can call business owners and say, hey, I'm actually looking at getting into this space. You don't have to necessarily say that you're looking to generate leads, but I'm looking to get into this space. And I just had a couple questions. I'm not going to be, competing with you. Maybe I'm going to be the next town over, whatever, if you want to call a town that you don't plan on going into. And these guys will give you information. And you could even lead and say, hey, I'm going to be doing some marketing in this space. And I just had a couple of questions. If you don't have time, no worries, but I would love to just ask you a couple of questions. And most of these people are very, very kind, very, very open, very, very just helpful. Okay. But guys, dock repair and encapsulation is a niche that I am very interested in as of this last week. Never heard of it. I like that it is in climates that don't get snow. I mean, typically, I'm sure there are probably some areas that have water but that's pretty rare. So you're looking at more of like a Florida, probably down there on the Panhandle, all those kind of places. So there's going to be, it kind of reminds me a lot of artificial grass, right? You're not going to find high search volume for artificial grass in, every small town in Kansas, but the areas that you do find it in, it's going to be really good. And you're going to be able to find some bigger cities with big populations and big search volumes that aren't that competitive because even though it's growing in popularity, it's not as mainstream as sod. It's not as mainstream as concrete. And so you're catching it at this perfect little spot in the market. So anyway, guys, I wanted to bring this to you. Dock repair and encapsulation. If you're sitting there going, man, I don't want to go into concrete. I don't want to go into tree service. I think these things are overdone, whatever. And that's your opinion, okay? Because I'm still doing deals in those niches. This could be a phenomenal niche idea. If I didn't think so, I would have led with it and said, hey, I don't think it's going to be great. And I probably wouldn't have even done a video if I wasn't interested in the niche. Dock repair and encapsulation. You heard it here, folks. Go give it a shake. And I will try to give you guys an update if we decide to go into it. And if we do decide to go into it, how it works for us and for our client.